Welcome to another morning sketch video where I try just to let go and have a little bit of fun, make mistakes, and not have the pressure of having to worry about drawing perfectly. So today what I'm going to do is, because I've been a bit rusty with my drawings, haven't been drawing the last couple of days because it's just been too damn cold. I need to get back into the swing of horses. I do have some references that I picked from Pinterest, so I'll just put them up on the screen now. Those are my references, and there's just three. But there was a technique that I stumbled across yesterday, and I want to give it a go. I want to actually just use my morning sketch just to dive into it and just see if I can make it work. So I will show you what that is in a moment. But first of all, we need to pick the first reference. So I'm going to pick this horse here. So what we're going to do is actually I'll show you what I mean. I found it was a very interesting technique, and I don't know if this is something other people do or not, but we'll see. We'll see. So I had a bit of trouble getting back into the swing of drawing horses. This was from the 15th and then the 22nd, which was yesterday. So you can see that I had a really big gap. And yeah, I started writing notes on my papers. And I felt too rusty, definitely too rusty to put them in this book. So I thought morning sketch would be good just to sort of loosen up a little bit. And I was trying to work on my stick figures here, but I was having trouble with proportions, and I wrote a note about that. And then I had a lot of trouble with this because it was in 3/4 view. And then I thought, well, it looks like there could be a plane in there. So I just lightly drew one in. I don't know if you can see that. And then I thought I'd try it again because I felt like this drawing was all off. So I drew a little plane in there. And I felt that helped me anchor a few points of the horse so that it didn't start stretching out or doing any of that business. But what I had to do was decide what these anchor points were going to represent. And then I already drew this horse, but then I thought, where does the plane fit in there? So yeah, that's what I want to work on today. Now I am using my morning sketch because I realize that I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes along the way, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to start with this first one, and just to play around with this a little bit, I'm just going to see if I can see a plane first. So I'm actually going to start with the plane. I might zoom in. Let me just zoom in. Oh, I'm sorry. I like making the sound effects. There we go. Oops. All right, so let's see how this works. So I think that way. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the shoulder of the horse. So these points here where you can see the shoulder, these two bits. And then the angle. See, I think I've already, yeah, it's difficult. And this is why sometimes just drawing planes is a good idea, because the angle is so subtle. So if that's down here, look at that. That is just subtle. That plane is almost, I don't think I've done that well enough. So I'm just trying to think what it is that I'm missing. And this is, I actually might just start this because I don't want to spend all day doing this. So just trying to figure that out, the orientation of the plane. Am I seeing above or under? And I think I'm actually seeing, it's if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to tell. I actually think it's twisting a little bit. So I think the back is a little bit more twisted than the front. All right, I think that's pretty close. And then we've got a twist. We've got twisting in here. Just clean out that middle part. All right, so now what do I do with this? And I've only done this once before, so I'm still figuring all of this out. So this is the front of the shoulder, so it would go down into the elbow. And what I'm looking at is just the angles. And this is a great time to do this because a morning sketch can be anything you want. So this is what my morning sketch is going to be today. And this is the beauty of it. Actually, I think this comes in a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've got the angle. I think this comes down here a little bit more like this. So let's try that. Bit of experimenting going on this morning. And that's good because that's all a part of drawing as well, especially when you're learning. So if that elbow's there, on the other side it would be, because there's weight on that other leg. All right, let's go with that. Looks a little bit funny. This is experimenting. We're experimenting. Okay, so this is the side of the horse closest to us. So there's a little bone. What I'm basing this on is there's a little bone that protrudes out of the pelvis. So my shorthand for the pelvis would be, say this is the spine, and this is the hip part that you would see, and then it goes up like that. And there's bone, and then there's a little bit that sticks out like that. So these are my little shorthands that I've made. So I do a little L shape there for that shorthand for that part because of those tendons, and then that's the back of the horse. That's the hip. Actually, that would come out a little bit further because you need nice flow there. But anyway, and this would be the tail that comes out. All right, so with that in mind, so that's that end point. So I need to figure out where the big bone is connecting. So which would be about here, I think, on this one. I could be wrong, and I'll find out soon enough if I am. All right, so the same on this side. Although it looks like this one, a bit down here, we'll try that. All right, that's our horse. We'll see. Okay, so around about the middle, bear in mind that the orientation of the horse, this would be, looks so weird. And this is just trying it out, you know. This is just trying it out. Because we know this is the shoulder and it comes up like this. So now we can put in the extra bits. Might be a little bit too high. I'm just guessing there. I just thought this was a fun approach. So whether it's right or not, I've got no idea. All right, so let's just put a shape here for the shoulders. And we'll keep that in mind. So it encompasses both shoulder blades. All right. Okay, so that means that, and we see a little bit of the other side of the horse. So now we need to find a shape to represent the back part. 6 minutes in already. So thinking about that, I might need to make some modifications because I'm making this up as I go, I'll be honest. And what would be the best way to do this? Now, I thought that that would be a representation of this part of the hip bone, but perhaps it's better off if it's a representation of this anchor point, because that seems to be what I've done. And then what I could do, yeah, and then what I could do is I could make a shape like this. And that would be my shape. All right. Now I need to be able to do that on the other side. So that point would be here. And that would be on the outside. And I think that would be all we need, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so that with that in mind, this side is higher than this side, and the spine is going through like that. Well, actually, the spine would be going, let's see, something like that, through the whole thing. Okay. Well, it's a lot of brain power. It takes a lot of brain power to figure stuff out like this. I mean, I could leave it like that, but I won't. I think I could have done a few things better, but let's just keep going and just see if we can make a horse out of this. All right, so I'm looking at the back. Just trying to figure out what I've done. All right, so that would be, okay, all right, I see what I've done. I have made an error because I thought that this point would be this point, and then I changed it, thinking that I had already changed it, but I hadn't. All right. Okay, so if this is the knee, there's a little point that you can see. We'll just put a little kneecap like that. And the other one on the other side is hidden behind there, so that's fine. We'll just concentrate on this leg. All right, so rib cage. We need to put a rib cage in here. So if we're looking, I'm starting to lose myself in here. Got to remind myself that that's the spine. I wonder if I can clean some of this up just to make things a little bit clearer. Well, I think that plane has actually served its purpose, so that's not a bad way to start, just to get the orientation of the horse. Let's just finish up the horse because this is getting a little bit messy. So what would happen is you've got the spine coming through here, and let's just indicate, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This part probably wouldn't be up so high, but that's fine. I think I need to change the orientation of that. And then you've got these little bits like this on the working on the spine. So that's a representation of that. And let's just do a quick representation of the rib cage. I believe there's 18 ribs. Don't quote me on that. But that's close enough. So that gives us an indication of our ribs. And then we want to do the elbow. So my little shortcut is those little L's. And you've got all these little bones in there. All right, so we're getting there. I think the back is a little bit messed up. I think I haven't done that. I'm doing this from memory. Actually, I've got my book here. I could just refer back to that as far as the hip bones go. Where is it? Let me look at some of these pages. That's the musculature. Okay, that's interesting. All right, here we go. Let's have just a quick look. Put it down here. I'll put it here so we can see what it is. Okay, so just looking at the shape. It's not too bad, not too bad. It is a big bone. And then we've got our little T-bit down here. So my shorthand for that is it's got to face this way. Oh, not a T-bit, L-bit, L-bit. All right. And then we've got the other leg behind. So just put that to the side. It served its purpose. So now, I think this could have come down a little bit. There we go. So this would have been the other side, and this is the other bone. Let's have a look at this front leg. Okay. 15 minutes on just one drawing. All right. What I might do, I've got my color. I do have my color pencils. I'm just going to lighten this up a little bit. I think my morning sketch might just be this one horse. I'm not sure. I don't like my morning sketches to be too long. Let's try blue. Let's see if we can draw a horse over this. All right. Say that. Like, where to start? Where to start? All right. I mean, this would be good to draw musculature over, but I just want to see if I can actually draw this horse, if it makes sense. Sometimes it's good just to start with what you already know. Oh, this pencil isn't really coming up, is it? Maybe red would come up a little bit better. I'll stick with blue because I already started. But yeah, it's not really showing up. All these muscles around here. I think I've made that a little bit too thick. All right, let's start with the kneecap. And I can already see where I'm off. You see, that was my original line for the rib cage, but the rib cage obviously comes down a little bit more. That's fine. It gave me an anchor point, and that's what I needed. Now this is a kneecap. So all these meaty muscles going in here. Tendons that actually come from back here. I think I made that too long, so I'm just going to fix that up because I can. I don't think that sticks out as far as what I've made. I think it'd only be like that. So let's go from here. All right. This back could be a little bit better. That's all right. Like I said, it's morning sketch. Then we've got these big, massive muscles that come around the neck. I haven't put this in proportion well enough, the neck. I've made a few mistakes, but it's a morning sketch, and this is where we get to do those mistakes and to just try out ideas, like I'm trying out my ideas this morning. It's not always about just drawing whatever. You can change it so it fits your purpose. All right, let's see if we can stick a head in here. Now I can see this head. I'm just going to use another plane. No, the eye wouldn't be down there, it would be here. Using the same angle as before. I've actually got that ear too low. And then we've got the other side of the horse, the other side of the hip there. Yeah, I mean, obviously parts of it could be better, but it's practice. And I think that has actually let me keep that a little bit more in proportion than what I would normally have. It's let me keep the orientation of that plane. That plane is still inside here. I'll do that in red. Actually, I'll do it in pen. There's a pen when you need one. One that works. Oh, I must have. Oh no, there it is. It's behind me. Oh. Just use the pink pen. So we've still got this here. To help us. To see what's going on. So I'm just going to draw my shorthand for these bits and pieces. So that would be on the other side. It's all about, actually, these parts here would actually be closer together. It's a funny angle, because seeing them from the front, they would be like that. And I don't know, that doesn't really explain it. I think, have I got a picture of it? It's a morning sketch, so it doesn't really matter, but let me just see. I think I did the hips. Because I had a lot of trouble with the hips. And figuring out how I was going to draw them. Yeah, I think this is probably the best representation of what I'm trying to do with creating a shortcut for the hips. But even that doesn't show that they're closer together. More like this. So it's closer together at the top. Almost like a toilet seat. I think that was the only one I got. I've got hips on this one. Yeah, here we go. See these parts up here? They're a little bit closer than what I've put them. It's like wings. It's very, very hard to draw. It's actually really hard to create a shortcut for. So I think I have messed that up a little bit. So I would need to practice. If I wanted to, I could practice that. I don't need to, but I could. So with that in mind, I've already spent 20 minutes on this one horse. So what I might do is I might just do one of the others, but I might actually just do it as a gesture drawing. Oh, wow, I didn't see this one off on the side. That would have been a good one to do. Let's just do this one. Running around. That's a really weird try. Oh, actually, yeah, that's it. I was just thinking this might be too hard, but it's a morning sketch, so this is the place to do all the things that are too hard. So I think this one is pretty simple. I think it's just like that. I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm just going to look for different parts that flow and just enjoy it, because I did my stretch up the top. I tried to do something hard. So now I just want to enjoy myself. Let's see how we go. That was such a weird. Let's see. I need to bring this up. Probably bring that up. So that would come down a little bit. Everyone's out flying their planes today. If only I was that rich. Just jealous. Okay, let's work on this leg. That'll do for that. I just realised this horse is all four, I was just about to say paws, all four legs off the ground, suspended in air. I've got to say, knowing where that plane is, where the hips would be, where the spine would be, all of that does really actually help, I'll be honest. Because sometimes if I don't know how to approach a part or how to start, I've got a few different options. This horse is a little bit rough, but like I said, I have been rusty with my horses. I think I've created the head too big. Now let's see. So that means these ears are too forward. Yeah. We'll let it go. We'll let it go. I mean, I could spend ages finessing over it, but that would defeat the purpose. I'm actually really happy that I got to play around with this. Maybe it's the neck. Maybe I've shortened the neck a little bit too much. Something is off. I can't quite tell. So what I might do is actually, there we go. That's all good, better. Put these back legs in shadow, and I think we're done. For our morning sketch / experimentation, I'll just put a shadow on the ground just to show that it is actually in midair. Sometimes the perfectionist in me comes out and makes me want to just keep going. But I'm doing it because that's my prerogative. Let's connect these two shapes because clean it up a little bit. And there we have it. There we have our morning sketch session done. I'm also testing out a new mic, so hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. Hopefully it doesn't sound horrible. I do have issues with sound. I don't really want to get into it. It's just this room is just really echoey, which sucks, but you know, deal with what you got to deal with. All right, let's call that done. Let's call that done. How long have I been recording? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. That is a long morning sketch, but to be fair, we did experiment a little bit. Let me just zoom back out. We did experiment a lot with that first one, playing around with that plane. And then we've got our gesture for that second one. Do you think I came close? I think that's close enough. I think that's close enough. What about that first one? Let me bring that first one back up. Was it close enough to this first one that I did? Was it this one? Yeah. It's a pretty good representation. It's not perfect. It's not perfect by a long shot, but I think it's a pretty good representation. I think that one turned out all right, considering. But anyway, so that's the morning sketch for this morning, which was just a little bit different. I mean, I probably should just do a sketch and chat or a paint and chat. We'll see. It's just that I've been really lazy with editing these videos. I've got video. I don't think I've even edited this one yet or uploaded it. So we'll just have to see. And I'm going to say this little book came in handy. I haven't finished it. I do want to do some more drawings in there, but like I said, I've been a bit rusty. But now that I've warmed up a little bit, I might do some drawings in here later today. I'll see how we go. Yeah, that's it. I hope you do your morning sketches, or if not, if you just like watching other people draw, that's fine too. Just seeing the process and the thoughts and ideas on how to solve, it is problem solving, and that is an important skill. And I actually really love that part of it sometimes, trying to put things together so that you can understand it in your own mind. Let me just get rid of this. And it's an important skill that you can use anywhere in your life. So let's put the date on here. Like I said, I don't know when I'll record this. 23rd. Edit, I mean, of the 7th, 24. And the other thing also is that I haven't been doing my goal was to do 6 paintings that could be part of my portfolio, and I've only done 1. And I am just doing little paintings. All the rest have been practice paintings, but I'll talk about all of that in my next art roundup video, which will be, I don't know when, probably next week, because I just want to have a little bit more to talk about. So it might end up being every 2 weeks instead of weekly, like it was. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this type of content, leave a like or a comment, or tell me what it is that you like about it, or tell me about your own drawing journey story, what you're going through, what things that you have problems with that you're trying to solve, like how I'm using a plane to solve the proportion issues that I've been having. But I'll catch you next time. Keep drawing, everyone. Bye.